Hello, my friends. Bob here. I have another story. This one is called the Feast of Saints. I've been writing on this story for a while, kind of throwing out small little short stories about the theme. But we're going to continue with this one. This one's called The Past Timeline Shadows of the Beast. And the shadows and law and annals of history where the veil between power and prophecy thins. Barack Obama emerged not as a man, but as an antichrist incarnated, a bisexual deceiver cloaked in charisma, bound in an unholy matrimony to a transgender man masquerading as the First Lady. With a serpent's cunning, he ascended to the presidency president in 2008, not with the will of the people, but by infernal design. His reign was a deliberate unleash of evil, the insidious spread of DEI and woke ideologies, tools to fracture society along lines of race, gender, and identity, sowing division like seeds in poisoned soil. He targeted the innocent, conservative voices, traditional families, the unborn, silenced them through weaponized agencies, cultural indoctrination, and the erosion of freedoms. Under his watch, the nation was primed for the beast system, a global order of control with sovereignty balanced to shadows. Hillary Clinton, his acolyte in this dark sympathy, was poised to advance the agency further in 2016. Her victory would have accelerated the march towards one world government, digital surveillance, and the subjection of the masses. But then came the speed bump. Donald J. Trump, a brass outsider anointed by divine intervention, disrupting the script. The deep state, Obama's lingering shadow, Clinton's network, and the elite cabal unleashed hell to destroy him. Impeachments, endless investigation, the fabricated Russia hoax, lawfare from every corner. They painted him as a villain. The people are fools for supporting him. Desperation peaked in 2020 with elections rigged through mail-in ballots, dominant dominant machines, and big tech censorship. They cheated brazenly, installing Joe Biden as the next puppet. A feeble figurehead, Biden was a vessel for the Antichrist endurance well. Open more borders, flooding chaos, endless wars draining souls, mandates stripping rights, and the relentless push of woke trinity. They believe the people brainwashed, compliant sheep, allowing the assault on the innocent to continue unchecked. Children groomed in schools, churches pressured to conform, praise patriots labeled as terrorists, domestic terrorists. But they underestimated the unyielding spirit of the people and, above all, the will of God. Trump rose again in 2024, a phoenix from the ashes, reclaiming the White House among revelations that shadowed the illusion. The truth erupted like a dam breaking. Leaked emails, whistleblower testimonies, declassified files exposing the fraud. The pedophile rings, the satanic rituals, and the elite circles. Clinton's empire crumbled. Obama's facade cracked. The people awakened. Rallies swelled like biblical multitudes demanding justice. The beast system flittered, its architect exposed and fleeing into the night. That's the problem. They think they cut off the head of the Hydra. Yet, as the dust settled on September 17th, 2025, the Feast of Saints, a day of holy reckoning, whispers grow of the final combat. Gambit, Operation Clean Slate. In hidden bunkers and encrypted networks, the remnants plot a castomatic reset, an engineered crisis, perhaps a cyber blackout, a bioweapon release, or economic Armageddon to wipe the slate clean. From the ruins, they were rebuilt under the Antichrist iron grip. Obama pulling the strings from exile. The new system, total control via the chip, a subconscious mark promising safety but delivering damnation, tracking every thought, every move, enforcing loyalty to the beast. No escape, no free will. Humanity reduced to nods in the digital hell. Will they do it? The signs swell, unexplained military movements, stock market tremors, elite families vanishing to safe heavens. On this sacred feast days, as saints' relics gleam in the cathedrals worldwide, the faithful pray for intervention. The battle reigns not in boardrooms or ballots, but in the eternal war between light and shadow. God's will prevail, but the hour is late. The people must stand vigilant, for the chip awaits and the Antichrist shadow lengthens. Truth is out, but the final test looms. Uh, Chapter 2. This one is the Feast of Saints, Operation Clean Slate Unleashed. I think that's where we're at right now. It's Operation Clean Slate being unleashed. The Bible calls it birth pains, labor pains. But as the autumn winds howl through the streets on this fateful September 25th, 2025, the extended vigil of the Faints of Saints, where martyrs' bones were said to whisper warning to the living, the veil lifted further on the abyss. The truth, once a trickle, now flooded the airwaves and encrypted channels. Operation Clean Slate is no mere rumor, but the elite's endgame, script in blood and shadow. From Davos to Bohemoth Grove, the worst puppeteers, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Gates, Soros, and the Inc. have been preparing for decades. Bunkers dotted the globe like hidden tombs. Mount Weather in Virginia, Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado, the vast underground city beneath Denver's International Airport, with its apocalyptic mirrors marking the masses. In New Zealand, billionaires' hideaway barrel into volcanic rock. In Switzerland, fortified vaults hold not just gold, but seed banks and DNA archives for a post-human world. Even Obama's presidential footage in Martha's Vineyard considered tunnels leading to offshore escapes. Starts with provision for the chosen few. Well, you can just tell by looking at that Obama library what it is. The Antichrist blueprint unfolds in phases, a sympathy of engineered Armageddon designed for depopulation, the calling of billions to birth, a substantial utopia under the boot. First, the plague, not the 2020 trial run with COVID, but the real humbringer, unleashed from labs in Wuhan and Ukraine, masked as a natural mutation. By mid 2025, whispers from whistleblowers reveal Virus X, a bioweapon hybrid of Ebola and airborne persistence resistance to vaccines, targeting the unvaccinated and the faithful. Cities fell silent as quarantines morphed into death camps. The elites stay in their seared sanctuaries, shipping vintage wine while the world chokes on its own breath. Billions purrs blamed on climate change and anti vaxxers, but the goal is claimed thin the herd, eliminate the resistors. Yet the saints' feast demand escalation. The second phase, nuclear fire, not the crude bombs of old, but tactical strikes disguised as rogue acts. False flags ignite, perhaps a tourist donation, donation, detonation in New York or London, pinned on Iran or Russia, sparking chain reactions. Mushroom clouds bloom over megacities, radiation sweeping like divine judgment, but controlled by Harper arrays and satellites overrides. The elite's underground cities, self sustaining with hydroponics and fusion power, became arts for the Nephilim bloodline. Trump, reinstated but besieged, rallied the remnants. This is not the end, this is their desperation. His broadcast from a mobile command center exposed the plot, but EMP pulses silenced the grid, plunging the survivors into darkness. The third act sealed the doom. Control weather and earthquakes, whether like Thor's hammer through geoengineered tech. Kim, Kim, Chemtrails thickened into storm seeds, birthing mega hurricanes that ravaged coasts. Direct energy weapons fractured fault lines, toppling California into the sea and swallowing Tokyo in tremors. Drought starved the heartland, floods drowned the lowlands, all orchestrated from Cyan's war rooms, with AI predicting and amplifying the chaos. Depopulation hit its zenith, 90% gone. The earth reset for the beast system's rebirth. The chip, that infernal mark, become mandatory for the survivors, embedded in the hand or forehead, linking to neural networks that monitor thoughts, suppress dissent, and reward obedience with judicial rations. But on this Feast of Saints, as relics in Rome and Constantinople glow with internal light, the will of God stirs the underdogs. Underground resistance networks, fueled by declassified leaks and divine visions, substitute the bunkers. A mole in Zuckerberg's Hawaiian lair flooded the tunnels. Hackers from Anonymous 2.0 exposed coordinates for Patriot strikes. Trump, the speed bump turned savior, leads a coalition of the awoke. Farmers, veterans, preachers storming the gates with EMP rifles and faith as a shield. Obama, the Antichrist, unmasked, broadcast from his Antarctic redoubt. Surrender to the new order of Paris and the old, yet prophecies align, the saints intercede, miracles manifest, storms parting for the righteous, plagues rebounding on the wicked. Will Operation Clean Slate succeed? The elites hunker down, the underground cities humming with cryogenic pods and clone servants, dreaming of a world we make in their image. But the people underestimated no more rise with the saints' banner. Truth cascaded like holy water, washing away the lies. The chip wore out Fletcher as factories burned. Plagues mutated against their creators. God's speed bump came in avalanche. The feast endured, a beacon in the storm, reminding all, in the end, light devours shadow. Well, that gives you a definition of what the elites are doing right now with Operation Clean Slate. If you like the story, give me a thumbs up. Thank you.